So tonight, more astonishing scenes from Tripoli as hundreds of rebel fighters rampage through Colonel Gaddafi's heavily fortified compound, firing into the air, raising their flag from its roof. This programme has exclusive pictures of the fighters as they entered the compound for the first time. Meanwhile, the whereabouts of the Libyan leader himself are still unknown. The rebels fought their way into the vast compound in the southern suburbs of Bab al-Azizia early this afternoon. Our international editor Lindsay Hilson reports from Tripoli.
All day long, the sound of battles and smoke rising from Colonel Gaddafi's Bab al-Azizia compound. It's a huge area in the centre of Tripoli. He's unlikely still to be there, but some of his loyalists are. This is maybe their last stand, but it's a violent one. Rebel fighters were seen ducking fire as the battle intensified. But the compound is so big that even as heavy weapons were being used in one part, rebels were able to enter another. This is the first footage of the moment one group of rebels went in from the northern side. It was given to us by a local cameraman who accompanied the fighters. This, they said, is the house of Saadi al-Gaddafi, one of the colonel's sons. They said they met no resistance. The house seems to have been ransacked already. Saadi had made himself head of Libya's Olympic Committee. Libyans hated the fact that they had to praise his prowess on the football pitch. They posed by the mural, even as gunfire echoed outside. Then the rebels removed a few souvenirs. One fighter who used to be a dentist in Bath showed me his memento.
What have you found here?
This from Saadi's house.
This was from the house of the son of Colonel Gaddafi.
Probably his daughter. I don't know, he's probably some famous guy. Bless her. She's a lovely girl. Her father's not.
So that's your souvenir of the day you went into Bab al-Azizia?
Yeah, just to remind that moment. I'll give it back after everything settles. I promise you.
By late afternoon, they'd done it. The rebels had claimed victory in Bab al-Azizia, Colonel Gaddafi's compound in central Tripoli. These are scenes Libyans never thought they'd see. The ultimate symbol of Gaddafi's power, now topped by a rebel flag. They climbed over the statue of a golden fist clutching an American jet, the symbol of power Colonel Gaddafi built after US jets bombed his compound in the 1980s. They stamped on a golden cast of his head, poured insults on his name, relished their moment of triumph. How much difference a few hours makes. Last night, Saif al-Gaddafi, the colonel's youngest son, reappeared in triumph after supposedly being arrested. He took reporters to Bab al-Azizia, where he greeted rapturous fans. Today, the streets were in the hands of local men and rebels who man checkpoints in their neighbourhoods. Their continuing problem is snipers.
Tripoli feels very different today. You haven't got the same crowds of jubilant people on the streets. There's sporadic shooting around here, and we can hear heavy weapons being used at the Bab al-Azizia compound. Just 600 yards from where I am, rebels are trying to flush out a sniper who's been targeting people on the streets.
Nothing is certain. Fighting may not be over. You could have guerrilla warfare here with Colonel Gaddafi's people becoming the rebels. But today, opposition fighters breach the centre of Colonel Gaddafi's power and believe history is finally going their way. Lindsay Hilson, Channel 4 News, Tripoli.